So, andito na tayo ngayon sa Module 5 or tinatawag na Electro-Mechanical Age. So, sa Electro-Mechanical Age, sa highlights na tayo diretso. So, dito nag-start yung telecommunication. Then, dito rin na-start na-develop yung battery. Nakaka-store na yung tao ng electricity by creating a battery. Then, telegraph, the first major invention to use electricity for communication purposes, made it possible to transmit information over great distances with great speed. So dito na unang nagawa yung telegraph. Okay. So kung familiar kayo sa telegraph, so ito dati yung way of communication natin. So sobrang mahal pa nga nito dati. So nung panahon pa ni Rizal, so nagte-telegraph pa sila nun. Then Morse code. Dito din na-invento yung Morse code. So kung familiar din kayo sa Morse code, nagre-represent lang to siya ng dot at dash. So through dots and dashes, so nakaka-produce siya ng information. So yan na concept yung ginamit sa pagsisend ng electrical impulses, tina-transmit from one location to another location. Then dito rin na-invento ang telephone and radio. Okay? Sino yung nag-invento ng telephone? Si Alexander Graham Bell. So sikat siya sa larangan din ng siyensya. So siya yung naka-discover ng electrical waves travel through space and can produce an effect far from the point at which they had originated. So these two events led in the invention of the radio. Ulit, si Alexander Graham Bell yung gumawa ng telephone at nag-invento ng radio is si Marconi in 1894. Then last na highlight noong electromechanical age is yung pagka-invento ng pinakaunang machine na nagre-read ng census cards. Okay. Ano nga ba yung mga census cards? So, yung census cards dati, so parang ito yung nag-hold ng mga information or ng mga data ng mga tao dati. So dito nila inilalagay. Si Herman Hollerith, siya yung gumawa ng unang machine or pinerfect niya yung machine na yon para gumana. And then, yung company na ginawa niya, later then called as the International Business Machine Corporation or the IBM.
There we are then, you're sitting in front of a card punch, you type in just like you would do on an ordinary keyboard these days, except this thing is electromechanical, so it's going splash, 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 splash all the time. Every character you hit is punching out holes electromechanically, and at the same time is hammering out a typewriter record on the top of exactly what all these holes mean.
Dito rin, na-invento yung Mark I. Inimbento siya ni Howard Aiken, PhD student at Harvard University. So, estudyante pa siya noon na time, nag-decide siya na i-combine yung technology ni Hollerith na sa Punchcard at yung technology ni Babbage, yung dream niya to a programmable computing machine. Ginawa niya yung Mark I na ginagamit ang paper at tape to supply instructions to the machine for manipulating data.
In 1944, IBM introduced the Automatic Sequence Controlled Calculator, or ASCC, the largest electromechanical calculator in the world. It was a general-purpose electromechanical computer that was used in the war effort during the last part of World War II. The original concept for this giant calculator was presented to IBM by Dr. Howard Aiken in November of 1937. IBM's automatic sequence-controlled calculator became known as Harvard Mark I by Harvard University staff and others. The Mark I was the first operating machine that could execute long computations automatically. The Mark I was 51 feet long. It used 500 miles of wire with over 3 million connections, 3,500 relays, and thousands of counters and switches. It was truly a giant of its time. The Mark I read its instructions from a 24-channel punched paper tape. The first programmers of the Mark I were computing pioneers Richard Milton Block, Robert Campbell, and Grace Hopper. Because of its speed, in March of 1944, the Mark I was used to run mathematical computations in support of the Manhattan Project's atomic research. The Mark I was officially taken offline in 1959. After 15 years of service. Portions of it remain at Harvard University today.
So next, sa Module 6 or sa Chapter 4, dumating na tayo sa current natin na period of computing. So ito na yung electronic age. So from 1940 to the present. So marami sa quiz nyo na sinabi yung kaibahan daw ng 4 basic computing period and the 5 generation of computers is yung past daw, yun yung tinatawag na 4 basic computing period. Pero kasama sa 4 basic computing period yung present natin, which is the electronic age. So dito na tayo natutong gumamit ng purely electronically lang yung pagmamanage natin ng data. So magpuproceed tayo sa mga main discoveries during the electronic age. So first, trice. So in the 1940s, scientists around the world began to realize that electronic vacuum tubes like the type used to create early radios could be used to replace electromechanical parts. So during this era or the electromechanical age in 1940, so parang may na-discovered talaga yung mga scientists na pwede pala gamitin natin yung vacuum tubes para i-replace yung mga electromechanical part para purely electronic na lang yung magpaparan ng computer natin. Then the next is yung pagka-imbento ng ENIAC, the first high-speed computer. Okay, ginawa to siya ni John Marck, okay, physicist, and J. Prosper Eckert. So, an electrical engineer. So, sila yung gumawa o nag-develop ng pinakaunang high-speed computer, which is the ENIAC. So, ang nag-fund ng budget nila dati sa pag-create ng pinakaunang high-speed computer ay yung US Army. Okay, tinatawag nga ito, di ba, ENIAC siya. Ang meaning niya is Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. Kaya siya tinawag na ENIAC. So, it could add, subtract, multiply, divide in milliseconds, and calculate the trajectory of an artillery round in about 20 seconds. So, more on for war purposes yung pagka-create ng computer dati. Pero, may isang malaking problema sa ENIAC computer. So, hindi daw siya nakaka-store ng mga memory. So, yun yung sinolve ulit ni Markley at ni Eckert, okay? Kaya nakagawa sila ng EDVAC or the Electronic Discrete Variable Computer. Then, after that, so a British scientist at Cambridge University completed the EDSAC or the Electronic Delay Storage Automatic Calculator 2 years before EDVAC was finished. So ibig sabihin, mas nauna na nagawa ni Morse yung pagka-create ng EDSAC. So thereby, siya yung nakakuha ng the first stored program computer, si Morse. So after that, third highlight sa electronic age, okay, ito na yung pagka-create ng 4th generation of digital computing. So sa first generation, okay, dito na-create yung ginamit natin yung vacuum tube. Second generation, dito ginamit yung transistors. Third, dito ginamit yung integrated circuits. Sa fourth generation, dito na na-invento yung microprocessor.
That's all, thank you.